Paper Crafters Library. In this video I'm going to show you how to create this Joyride card which features Stampin' Up's Rev Up the Fun stamp set. So the first thing I'm going to do is to stamp my car image. So I have here a scrap of Whisper White cardstock and some Real Red Classic ink. So I'm going to begin by inking up my car stamp and then stamping it in my red ink onto my cardstock. Then I'm going to clean my stamp, make sure that it's thoroughly dry, and I'm going to ink it up in black ink, and I'm going to stamp it a second time on my cardstock. I'm then going to make sure that this is thoroughly dry. So I'll be back once I've had a chance to dry my ink using my heat tool. So with my ink now dry, now what I want to do is to cut out both cars. So the black car I'm going to cut out in its entirety, leaving just a very slight white border all around it. The red car, I'm going to cut out everything but the tires. So I'm just going to start by demonstrating. I'm cutting first of all, not quite on the line, but right up next to the line. And then coming up around the wheel well. Not close to the tire edge, but close to the car edge. So cutting very slowly, just to make sure that I get an accurate cut. And you don't want to cut on the line. You want to cut just to the inside. So you can see there, I'm getting rid of the tire. So I'm going to do that for the second tire and then cut all the way out on this red car piece. So I'll be back once both my pieces are cut out. So as you can see here, I finished cutting out the red piece without the tires and then the black piece. So now what I want to do is I want to stick the red piece right on top of the black piece so that it looks like you have the red car with the black tires. So to stick that on, I'm going to use some Tombow Mono Multi-Liquid Glue. Just have to be careful you don't get any where the tires are. So in the center portion of the car and then here at the front. And then I'm going to very carefully take my red piece that I cut out and lay that directly over top of the black piece. There, the black car. So there you can see what that looks like. So I have here a 1.5 by 5 1/8 inch piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I want to stamp on it using my Rev Up the Fun stamp set using this track mark over here. So I'm going to start by using my Stamp-A-Majig to create a track mark going all the way across my cardstock piece. So I'm just using black ink for this. Now I'm going to dry that so it doesn't smear as I move my Stamp-A-Majig along because I want it to be one continuous track. So I'm now going to take my imaging sheet again. I'm going to align it with this tire track here. And then I'm going to, once again, go ahead using my black ink and I'm going to go ahead and stamp that. And then I'm going to dry this and continue on just right here to the very end. So there you can see what that looks like. Now I'm going to take the tire tracks and I'm going to kind of randomly stamp it, crisscrossing over the cardstock, and I'm going to stamp it in between kind of where the seams are. Let's see here. I'll do, if I can, to kind of cover them. Let's see here. You want it to be coming kind of from different directions. You don't want it to look like it's very uniform. Maybe for this last one I'm going to dry this and then I'm going to create one coming this way. So for my very last one I'm going to have it, or maybe I'll have it this way, coming all the way across like so. So there you can see what that looks like. So I'm now going to set that aside to dry. So here I have a 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 inch piece of Real Red cardstock, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment from that Rev Up the Fun stamp set, the one that says every day can be a joyride, here on the bottom right corner. And I'm going to use my Stamp-A-Majig for that, just to make sure that I get the exact placement that I want. So there you can see what that looks like, and I'm just going to give that a moment to dry. So now I'm going to center and stick my real red cardstock piece onto a 4 by 5¼ inch piece of basic black cardstock. So there's just going to be a nice small border all around. Then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to center and stick it onto my card front. For my card front, I've taken a piece of crumb cake cardstock, cut it to 4¼ by 11, scored it at 5½ inches, and then folded it in half to create my 4¼ by 5½ inch card. So there you can see what that looks like. Next I'm going to take my tire track piece and I'm going to center and stick it onto a piece of black cardstock that is cut to 1 5/8 by 5 1/8. So just big enough to leave a nice small border. I'm then going to mount this to my card like so, using some of my ends of my Stampin' Dimensional. So I'm just going to peel that off, lay that on the back, just enough. This is one of my favorite ways to use my ends when I have long pieces that I need to, or big pieces that I need to mat. So I'm just now going to remove the backing from all my dimensional foam pieces, and then using the lines in my grid paper as a guide, I'm going to stick this down. Oops. And I'm sticking it so it's about 1 1/4 inch up from the bottom edge of the card, like so. So there you can see what that looks like so far. And then my very last step, I'm going to take the card that I created and I'm going to place a strip of dimensional foam at the back, remove the backing, and then I'm going to place it on my tire track. Just need to trim the white around my tire here for a moment. And I'm going to position it so it looks like it's driving on the track there. So there you can see what our card looks like, and it's now finished. If you enjoyed this video, you enjoy the way we teach and would like to learn even more, we invite you to check out Paper Crafter's library. Whether you're a beginner looking to learn the basics or an advanced paper crafter looking to learn new skills and techniques, you'll find it all here. Stamping, card making, scrapbooking, altered art, mixed media, we cover it all. With over 1,600 videos currently in our library and videos added each month, we are the largest and most comprehensive online library of video tutorials for paper crafters on the internet. We invite you to visit our library and see what we're all about.